Right, so in this video, I'm going over how I find unlimited qualified leads to reach out to for my agency and for my marketing agency partners that we do outreach for. And this came about because a lot of the agency owners that I speak to, they say that prospects come onto calls, but they're just not qualified, right? They're just not ready to buy. They either don't have the money, or they're not ready to get started now. So in this video, I'm going to outline exactly how we source our leads, how we clean them, and how we make sure that they're just ready to go as soon as they get onto a call. All right, how to find unlimited qualified prospects. Firstly, you want to define your niche. Who are you actually reaching out to? What are the qualification criteria that you're looking for, right? What determines whether someone's qualified or not? Are they, for example, selling online? What's their revenue amount? How many employees do they have? How many followers do they have on social media? These are all things you need to define. You need a niche, right? And a specific one too. So I just wanted to point this out. Ecom or SaaS, it's not a niche. It's too broad. So for example, instead of going into e-com, which is everyone, it's the equivalent of saying we help online businesses. Do you know how many online businesses there are? So what you want to do is go into, for example, e-com fashion brands. And most of you will be like, oh, but I don't want to do that because there's so many more e-com brands. But understand this, when you reach out to someone using a case study, right? Let's say you're reaching out to a fashion brand. Right, and let's say you helped Balenciaga to generate an extra 1 billion, and you said that to a fashion brand. They'd be like, okay, this guy really, he's an expert in this space. And then you mentioned 5 other fashion brands that you've helped. Then they're like, okay, wow, okay, this guy's an expert in fashion, right? As opposed to you talking about like the chiropractor you helped, the plumber that you helped, they don't care about that. If you reached out to an e-com brand and you spoke about, how you helped this dentist generate 5 appointments, why would they care? So we want to get as specific as possible. Instead of me helping coaches, consultants, all service-based businesses. No, I just help agencies. And on top of that, I only help marketing agencies. And on top of that, I only help established marketing agencies. So again, get clear. Now we're going to go into Apollo. This is a tool that I use for all my outreach. And what I've done is, because I know the people there, I think you can use this link to get like an extended free trial. Honestly, I don't really know what you're going to get something. I forgot what it actually is. But if you use this link specifically, you'll get that. So we go into Apollo over here. Let me just move myself. This is what it looks like. This is what we use for local businesses, for online businesses, for everything. This is our lead sourcing system. So if you're not using Apollo, firstly, and you're an agency owner and you have at least like a couple paying clients, you need to get onto Apollo, right? It's really the best one. So over here we have filters. Right, Apollo is just a big database of a lot of businesses, and you can see 250 mil. So what we're going to do is use these filters to narrow down on what we want. So I'm going to go through some examples, or maybe an example. Let's say we're going for fashion brands, just like before, just like to carry on with the example. Now we want to start in the companies tab. Most people don't know how to do this, right? So we're going to start with, for example, the industry. So what most people can do is they can say, for example, apparel and fashion. By all means, that's a great method of finding people. But if you really want to narrow down, what you want to use are keywords. Okay? So we'll actually get back into that in a minute. We'll get back into that. So firstly, if we're going to e-com brands, we need to make sure that they are e-commerce as opposed to selling in person. So what you can use is technologies. So for example, Shopify. Right, and this just indicates that they're selling on Shopify. Cool. Or for example, WooCommerce. Because it's just another platform for selling online. So this immediately indicates that they have some sort of online product that they're selling, because why else would you use Shopify? Then we can go into industry and keywords. So we could go into fashion. We could just use the apparel and fashion keyword. But if we wanted to really narrow down, because the more narrow we go and the more targeted it is, the better results we'll get. So if we have a case study in streetwear, for example, just like a subsection of fashion, we could put that here. Okay? Realize this. This is very useful. So what you can do, most people just stop here, but what we can actually do is use additional keywords of businesses that are similar to what we want. So if, for example, we wanted, activewear as well, we could include that. So ideally what we want to do is search the brand that we want. For example, can't think of one. Oh, let's go with Balenciaga. Balenciaga. Okay. What we can do is use the keywords that they already have. Now, I'm not saying they are streetwear, but we can use the keywords that they have and use that in our targeting, because then we'll automatically get similar brands to them. All right. So just understand this. We want to take the keywords of what we want, of the brands that we want, and put that into our search. So we'll just continue with the fashion and apparel one to get through this example. But we'll do that, for example. Okay. Cool. So now we have 53,000 apparel and fashion businesses selling on Shopify. Now with employees, what you can do is this is a good indicator of their revenue, because the revenue metric will never be very accurate. So what we want to do is, honestly, what I used to do in the past was like remove this one and only go for like this little section here. But what I found, honestly, is that e-commerce brands can have a very successful or a decently high monthly recurring revenue, like 50K plus, 100K plus, with sub 10 employees. It's really possible. So by ignoring this 1 to 10, this 36,000, we're actually missing out on a lot of potential prospects. So I would honestly not even touch this, right? I'd not even touch this, because yeah, you might get some people responding and they don't have like a crazy amount of budget for marketing, but I'd rather get a lot more replies and just say no to like 1 or 2, as opposed to not getting the replies in the first place. So leave this blank. Then you want to go to people. So now we're using the companies filter in the people one. So we're just going even further down. Now, this is 200,000 people, but we don't want to talk to everyone. We don't want to talk to like assistants or area general manager. So what we want to do is only get the job titles that we want. So for example, founder, CEO, director of marketing, and many, many other ones. Ignore that. And many, many other ones. And then what you can do is actually save this as a persona over here, so that you can just use the same one every time. So I save this for e-com brands. It's all like high-level decision makers in marketing and general operations. But either way, you get the point. You just put in the keywords that you want, the job titles that you want, and then what you can even do is exclude ones that you don't want. For example, just typing in like teacher, I guess. Whatever you want to avoid. And then you can go into location if you really want to, like you want to target, for example, just United States or North America. By all means, you can do that. Right, then all of this you can really ignore. These are really the important ones and what we did in the company. So then what you'll do is you can either get, or what you can do is yourself, you can scrape these leads, like select this page, add it to a list, and then export the entire list, because you can't export it like this straight away. You need to get like the top Apollo. Now, there is a tool that can scrape this automatically using like an automation. If you really want that, let me know and I can potentially link you to that. It's a private one, so hey, either way. Or you can just get a VA to come in, do this, add to list, go to the next page, click, add to list, or you can do it yourself, whatever you really want to do. And then once you have a list, right, you click the list, you export it, and then next step, you want to clean your list, because unless you want to land in spam, you're going to have to clean your list. Because what you're going to get are emails. You're going to get emails, but they're not going to be the actual emails, because Apollo is just, for many of them, they're just guessing as to what the email could be. Many are verified, but they're just guessing. So we need to put it into another tool that can actually make sure all the leads are clean. So what we want to do is take the downloaded file, upload it into here. So let me see how I can show you this now. All right, so I uploaded a list, right? It's over here. Then you set the label. So what do you want to call it? Example. Okay, and then you want to click this file contains multiple columns of data, because there's like a name column, first name, last name, email, all that stuff. So there's multiple columns. Then you click upload. My bad. All right, then you're going to see a screen like this. So it's going to say, please wait while your file is being important. Your action is required when complete. And you just want to spam the check status button. Actually, just wait a minute, and then, yeah, it's going to take a while. Well, it's going to take about a minute, then I'll show you the next step. Welcome back. So now it's going to say, or it's going to ask which column is the actual email one. So then you want to click over here and go to email. Then you click select. Okay, then it's going to do this again. It's just going to import everything, and then I'll show you the next step from there. Okay, finally, so now it's going to ask you to, pay the actual validations. So you'll click pay 500. Then it's going to take some time, and obviously you can buy more validations and stuff. I have, 55,000. But yeah, you're going to pay this. It's going to take some time to validate it. Then it's going to come out looking like this. So some of the emails will fail, some will pass, some are unknown, and there's that much in total. So what I'm going to do now is export this file, right? And I'm going to show you how to actually remove the bad ones and keep the good ones. All right, so I just took the exported file over here, and then I put it into Google Sheets, or I uploaded it to Google Drive and I opened with Google Sheets. And then what you want to do is click this over here. So you select all, and you put the filter on it, and you go to details, and this tells you which ones are actually good, which ones are not, in terms of the emails. You want to clear all, and you only want to keep this address passed all tests. Okay, so all of these are verified by Apollo and bulk email checker, so they're actually good emails. So they're not going to land in spam, they're not going to mess up your whole email. So then you want to make a new page. Command or Control A, select all, upload it there, and you download this file, CSV, and you upload this file into whatever tool you're using. So whether it's Instantly, whether it's Lemlist, whatever sending tool you have. And that's how you do it. That is all you need to do if you want to find qualified leads. And yeah, so if you found this video useful and you still want to watch more videos on how to book more meetings, sign more clients, I'll link 2 of my best videos over here on the screen.